Right. Good evening, guys, and welcome to our news conference. We've got Coach Rossi Erasmus and Captain Jesse Kriel. Please, guys, because we're so many, just raise your hands for questions. We'll take as many as we can. And then we need to close off with an Afrikaans question for the media online, just so that our media at home have something. So hands up for questions.
Rossi, our boys fought like lions out there in the maritime. It seemed like the ruck contest, the lineout contest, and the maul defense all night long was a problem. The timing of that, such a messy ball behind the ruck.
Yeah, I think the scrum contest was fairly even. They got upper hand sometimes. I think the maul, we were pretty static. I don't think they really got a try from a maul, so I think that was pretty. But I think the ruck, as you say, rightly so, was the ball was always bouncy, fast, getting out, a little bit messy. You can actually say, or maybe say it's because of the weather, but New Zealand play in exactly the same weather with the same ball, and their ball was much more steady, and you can't just pinpoint that on Grant. It's the way the ball comes out. And I don't think they did anything illegal there. We just didn't control it well enough. So I think it's spot on.
Yes, you're never going to rock up at Eden Park and deliver first, especially the first half, almost like that, and beat all that.
Well, if you give them, I think 14 points, too easy tries. I mean, Malcolm was seeing a tackle and he played so well all over. I think Willie will accept. I think all of us can accept there was a weird thing what he tried to do with that tackle there. I'm not sure what he tried to do. And the guy just got up and scored the try. So if you're 14 points down and then you start training and you're chasing the game a little bit too, and you're chasing your own tail, but we put ourselves in those positions. But then I thought the guys that we brought energy, brought some fight. I think it was maybe the right thing to have a 5-3 split because the three backline players that came on really had a good impact. I thought Kobus settled down the breakdown. I thought Sasha really was electric when he had the ball in hand, and I thought Ethan was really good in the air for us. So there was many things we got wrong, but mostly just giving them 14 points and then think you're going to still win. Which we almost pulled the draw out at the end, but I think it's now 10 points for New Zealand, 9 for Australia, we in Argentina on 5, so still a lot to play for next week.
That's it. On the lineup, it's been a bit of a recurring. How to get it sorted out?
I think they lost also 3 line-out balls, so it's not easy conditions, and we try to do plays that we think, not just winning the line-out ball for the sake of winning it and do nothing with it, because that's how New Zealand really kind of stops you from get your play going. So every now and then you chance your arms a little bit for trying getting the ball at a spot. I'm not sure. I think we lost 3. But yeah, I think they also lost 2. So it's definitely not individual's problem. It wasn't in the conditions, and I think that they more or less struggled the same in the lineouts. So it's something that we all must fix. They must fix theirs, and we must fix ours. And it's a group thing. It's definitely not just one person doing something wrong. Sometimes the call, sometimes the throw.
See any difference next week with the high kicking game for both teams?
I think they were better than us in the high kicking game. I think they did it as much as we did. I think they did it much lower. You could see it was like half punts in between the fullback and the first line of defense, and that was clever, especially in the weather. And they were well prepared for our kicking game. And I think it was 2 teams who was desperate to win. I think at the end you could see we wouldn't have won the game if we were close to a draw. Not that there was any consolation, or I say that we played well at all. They were much better. But it was 2 teams that was desperate for wins, and I think we both went to like very conservative play. Even their tries were from kicking games and one great line-out move at the back. So, and ours was like a bit of a rumble close to their try line. So I don't know if it will open up next week. You're gonna if we win, they might be in 11 and we might be on 9, or we might be in 10 and they might be on 10. So it's still a crunch game and might be still stages test rugby. And we've got the weather wrong the whole week. We thought it was going to rain the whole week and we tried that today and it was the other way around. So let's see what the weather is like in Wellington. But we'll definitely make some changes in our team for this week. We before this game thought we'll go with more or less the same team next week, but we'll make a few changes.
I see, after that 14-0 early on, the All Blacks couldn't pull away, and at the end we were one try away from splitting things up. Do you see this bit of a missed opportunity in that regard?
Yeah, it's probably looking for positives in a performance that there were spells that were terrible, but then there were really gutsy spells. I don't think they had a lot of other scoring opportunities apart from the tries that they scored. I thought that really we just gave them maybe penalties away when we were on defense. So yes, us fighting back against the #1 team in the world and away from home. We've got another chance next weekend, so that's something to be positive about. But that doesn't overshadow the bad things that we did in the game. But it's certainly something to build on.
Rusty, how much did I'm up the back here?
Yeah,
How much did history weigh on your team?
if we would have won, I think we would have brought it up and said, "Oh, yeah, no, we beat them for the first time in a very long time since 1936." But the next day life goes on, and you play them again in six days' time or 7 days' time, and the same with this loss. They kept their record. Well done to them. They're a great team. We always measure ourselves against them. When we wanted to get back into World Rugby in 2018, our big thing was to just beat New Zealand in New Zealand, and they will always stay the big challenge for us. And we've got another go next week. We couldn't break this record, but it wasn't like we built a whole theme around the Eden Park record, because if you don't do it now, are you then disastrous, or do you just have another chance in the Rugby Championship? So they can be very proud. They defended it really, really well.
New Zealand's wins in South Africa, especially the part have been based on their fast starts. How is it that you can find a way to actually tame those fast starts?
Yeah, so the 2 fast starts was a great backline Lineout overthrow, which the guy just spread the guy on the inside. Now, there wasn't time even to adjust or to form a ruck. It was just like the previous game where Nick White just had a quick tap and he kicked the ball. There wasn't even a ruck formed for us to get a chance. And the other one was a cross kick, which the guy fielded and Willie jumped over the guy. So, it's 2 individual errors, and the others they had to grind for, or they had to get a penalty from the defense. So it's a bit frustrating in the sense that it's never the same guy that make the error, and it's every time another stupid error that we make. It isn't like we're saying we're consistently making the same stupid error. There's always a different player at a different facet of the game. And as I always say, we pick the players, we do the defense structures. I mean, if you, Jerry, in this defense, what can you do about the first and the second try that was scored, apart from the 2 guys just making the tackles? So, yeah, it's frustrating, and maybe it's to do with team selection. And sometimes we as coaches and management must put up our hands and say, hey, we're getting it wrong sometimes with combination-wise. And of course, if we got it always right, we will be #1 in the world for forever. But we did not get it right in this game, and we'll have to adjust.
Jesse, a lot of teams come down here and they go down 14-0. It's a tough hill to climb. You had to lead a comeback and ignite one. What did you tell the guys to stop that and then get back in the match?
Yeah, I think we always knew that New Zealand wanted a fast start, and I think it's a group of guys that are always willing to stand up and fight. So yeah, very proud of how the guys came back. I think there was always a sense of calmness within the group, whether it be when we were down there attacking or behind our poles after those first 2 tries. And I think, yeah, the great thing about the group is that regardless of the situation, the guys will always be willing to fight. And yeah, I was proud of the guys' fight tonight. But then again, we weren't clinical enough. We weren't good enough to win a test match of this magnitude, and credit to New Zealand for the way they played and for closing out that match.
As je die Afrikaans so many wedstryde ook al wat sy die grootste workouts wees doen.
Ja, om eerlik net te wees, om net positiewe te soek uit die wedstryd sal natuurlik wees almal wat sê is oor julle verloor weg van die huis af met 7 punte. So positiewe is seker dat ons daar nog in die run is vir die Rugby Championship en ons het nog 'n kans om teen New Zealand te speel. Overall dink ek as jy na die 80 minute kyk, was daar seker so 15 regtig swak minute en dit het gelei tot 'n klomp 'n bietjie disbelief in die span. En hoe meer ons nader aan die halftyd gekom het en weer in die mix gekom het die ouens weer bietjie belief teruggekry en ek dink die Saps het regtig baie goeie energie in die game ingebring. Op die oomblik was dit 7 punte. So baie teleurgesteld. Ek bedoel, ek weet die mense gaan baie hartvol vir ons wees en ek weet ons gaan baie hou vat en dis mos maar deel van dit. Maar 7 dae later kan ons dalk vir New Zealand wen en ons is nog in die mix vir die Rugby Championship. So ja, dis maar soos enige ander verloor. Is nou wel teen die wêreld se nommer 1 weg van die huis af, maar dit maak dit nie lekkerder nie. Maar dit is nog steeds baie sleg.
Cool. Thank you very much, guys. We've got Nick
Thank you.
Thanks guys.
15 minutes.
So
We've got Razor and Scooter on the way.
I think we might have to do some stealth passing of microphones. I don't want to end up in shots.
Well,
I think I emailed.
well,